Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's day is Wednesday, the 9th of October 2024, the year of 1 million transactions per second and more. Experience the best of both worlds today at betbitcoinsv.com, the best casino of sports betting on chain. Have a little flutter in private using the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Right, let's see what we've got in store for us today. Again, just talking about this HBO documentary about trying to search for Satoshi. An article here by Cointelegraph saying everything HBO's Bitcoin doc got wrong about Peter Todd and Satoshi. Then we've got a few other articles just to go through. Then I'm going to read this article from MicroStrategy after a Bitcoin advocacy manager. We'll just see what that's about, just for lulz and all that. Then we've got some articles that I want to go through here from BSV Blockchain that look quite good about why the BSV Blockchain is the future of finance, how the BSV Blockchain can be used in healthcare and stuff like that. Then we just got some more points to go over that I've seen that I found quite funny about HBO with Adam Back looking like an absolute goon. A little bit of 365 days of history, and that'll be the end of the show. Right, let's get into it.
Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, them transactions flying free. Just wait for the Terra node, you'll surely see.
Here we go, rock and roll. Never a dull moment in this space, really. Good grief. Everything HBO's Bitcoin doc got wrong about Peter Todd. I mean, what an absolute waste. What a waste of time and documentary to get it so fantastically wrong like this. So let's see what it says. HBO's Money Electric suggests Bitcoin developers Peter Todd is Satoshi Nakamoto, but contradictions and timeline errors abound. Oh dear, oh dear. Look, he hasn't done his research into Bitcoin history. If he would realise that timelines don't match up, whereas everything matches up with Craig. Everything. So let's continue. The documentary Money Electric, The Bitcoin Mystery aired on October 8th by Home Box Office. Oh, I didn't realise that's what HBO stood for. It controversially claimed that it knew the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonymous creator of Bitcoin. The film suggests that Peter Todd, a Bitcoin core developer, absolutely no way in hell could he have been Satoshi Nakamoto. Even when you look at the age, around 2008, he would have been like 25. Like, you do get 25-year-old geniuses, but to have the amount of knowledge about economics and cryptography and law and everything at the age of 25 to have launched this is just absolutely insane. To understand all the lawful, legal and economic principles involved, just no way. Even Craig, being the savant that he is, didn't release it till the tender age of 39. 39, so he was nearly 40 when he did, because it's taken him all that time to learn all of this. And they reckon this guy Peter Todd could just simply launch Bitcoin at the age of 25. Absolute BS. Calling that one. So the film suggests Peter Todd as a Bitcoin core developer is secretly Nakamoto. However, several coincidences quickly emerge when the facts are examined more closely. In response to the documentary's interpretation of Todd's statements, the timeline misrepresentation and other inaccuracies, Cointelegraph breaks down everything wrong with the documentary. Oh dear! I mean, can you imagine putting all this effort into a documentary just to be absolutely crucified like this? So let's see what happens here. We are all Satoshi. That's right, we're all Satoshi apart from Craig Wright. Remember. One of the central claims of the HBO's documentary is that Todd used the pseudonym title to give that Gregcoin now credibility, despite Todd's personal timeline contradicting this theory. Bitcoin was launched in 2008 while Todd was studying for a fine arts degree. Although Todd had an interest in cryptography, he has publicly stated that he didn't begin working on BTC until 2014. That's more like it. In the documentary, Todd sarcastically remarks that he is Satoshi. A comment that HBO may have taken too seriously or used to further an already outstretched and unwindling theory. Well, he also said, oh no, I am Satoshi, I'm Satoshi Nakamoto. Well, he also said he was Craig Wright. Where's that? Let's put that in there. Bitcoin Talk Forum post misrepresentation. The HBO documentary presents evidence in a 2010 post on the Bitcoin Talk Forum, one of the oldest online communities dedicated to discussing BTC and crypto-related topics. The filmmaker implies that Todd accidentally posted from his account instead of Satoshi's, allegedly revealing himself when he finished Satoshi's thought and disappeared alongside the BTC creator. Not really. Todd explained that Satoshi's last post was 1 week after I signed up for Bitcoin Talk, but then I disappeared. Despite Todd's implied tone that it was coincidental, the filmmaker uses this to suggest a more suspicious connection than a mere coincidence. Oh dear, reaching. Just look at Craig. That's all I'd say. You literally is ridiculous. Dismissing accusations. Throughout the documentary, Todd repeatedly critiques the filmmakers for sensationalizing the story, calling them pretty creative when creating the crazy theories that Todd says are ludicrous. In a sarcastic tone, Todd remarks, "Of course I'm Satoshi and I'm Craig Wright! Come on! Loving that. Making it clear that he finds the accusations absurd. He also predicted the documentary would be very funny for a bunch of Bitcoiners. He said, quote, "It's going to be yet another example of journalists really missing the point in a way that's very funny. The point is to make Bitcoin the global currency. Again, it's not currency, it's money. Doesn't know the difference between the two. Massive fail. And people like you being distracted by nonsense can potentially do good on that." Replaced by fee mischaracterization. The documentary also claims that Todd's introduction of replaced by fee, so he's the one that did it, in 2014 was a pre-planned feature tied to Nakamoto's original vision for Bitcoin. However, this falls short, as a replaced by fee was not part of the cryptocurrency's initial design. Absolutely it wasn't, and it's in BTC. They're saying it there. It was not in the cryptocurrency's initial design. It's not Bitcoin. See, look, why don't you actually look at Bitcoin's original design? You'll then find out who the creator is. It's kind of obvious because he's sticking to the protocol. Todd's introduction to Replaced by Fee came years after Satoshi's disappearance, but the filmmaker implied that Replaced by Fee was tied to the governmental influence after John Dillon offered a $500 reward for the solution. The strangely small fee, as stated in the documentary, is presented as suspicious in the film, but seems more like an attempt to build a large narrative without sufficient supporting evidence. Oh, right. There we go. And what's this? Who's Peter Todd? The man at HBO identifies as Satoshi Nakamoto. Oh my goodness me. This is just 5 hours ago, so let's read this then. Peter Todd was an early figure in Bitcoin and is a core contributor to the blockchain today. Again, so core contributor, they're the ones who implemented SegWit and absolutely royally effed it up, removing all contractual credibility and therefore economic value. They know that's what they've done. It's the biggest fraud in financial history. Tampering with signatures, whether they are wet ink or signature or digital, is fraud. Straight up. No ifs or buts. That is it. And he's involved in it. On October the 8th, HBO's documentary Money Electric, The Bitcoin Mystery, identified Peter Todd as Bitcoin's pseudonymous creator Satoshi Nakamoto. Todd denied being Satoshi Nakamoto both before the documentary's debut and after it aired, bluntly posting on X, "I'm not Satoshi." However, the question remains, who is Peter Todd and why do so many people believe he is Satoshi Nakamoto? Because they're a bunch of fools. Peter Todd is a prominent Canadian developer with a background in cryptography, computer science and digital security. He is best known for his contributions to the development of Bitcoin Core, the main software implementation of Gregcoin protocol. Todd has been a Bitcoin Core developer at the Bitcoin platform CoinKite since July 2014 and a board advisor at digital collectible platforms Versat since 2015. His contributions to the blockchain can be traced back to the birth of Bitcoin itself. Nah, bollocks. Placing him as a contemporary of Nakamoto. HBO's documentary filmmaker Colin Hoback goes further, however, naming him as Satoshi Nakamoto himself. This is linked to what Hoback claims is a new piece of evidence supposedly crucial to the case. In a December 2010 thread on the forum Bitcoin Talk, Todd replied to Nakamoto in a thread about fees. Hoback and HBO contend that this reply under Peter Todd's own account was a careless mistake, that Todd is Nakamoto and had planned to append his previous post as Satoshi. Oh dear, oh dear. You've got to be kidding me. We'll go back to that. Although the HBO seems convinced that this shows Todd is Nakamoto, not everyone is quite so sure. BitMake's research is amongst those skeptical of HBO's claims. In an October 8th X post, they stated some of the evidence presented in the documentary was clearly ridiculous and that there was zero reason to believe it. Let's see what this said here. According to Forbes, HBO will say that Peter Todd is Satoshi. The Forbes article states that a 2010 Bitcoin Talk post replied to Satoshi Nakamoto that Cullen Holbeck believes was accidentally posted using Todd's profile. This is clearly ridiculous. It is just an example of Peter Todd replying to Satoshi with a snarky, pedantic and accurate comment. Yes, and an output value will need to be reduced to generate a transaction fee. This is the kind of comment Peter could make today. There is zero reason to believe he was Satoshi. Is Peter Todd Satoshi Nakamoto? Whether Todd is Nakamoto or not, his long-standing ties to Bitcoin are indisputable. For turning it into a piece of shit. Todd is not only one of the earliest contributors to Bitcoin codebase, because he hadn't got a clue what he's doing. Actually, no, either he's nefarious or ignorant, but either way, absolute scammer. But he is among the few who publicly communicated with Nakamoto before Nakamoto disappeared in 2011. In a 2019 podcast, Todd said he was about 15 when he started communicating with early Bitcoin contributor Hal Finney. 15! That's hilarious, and they think that he's Satoshi Nakamoto. And Hashcash inventor Adam Back. Both Finney and Back have also been named as Nakamoto contenders over the years. Todd was 23 when Nakamoto published the Bitcoin white paper in 2008, outlining a version for a decentralized peer-to-peer payment system. Through his years of work on Bitcoin and blockchain more generally, Todd has proven to be an extremely knowledgeable and adept developer. Bullshit. This proves that Todd has the requisite skills and experience to be a worthy Nakamoto candidate. No way. No way. He's the one that advocates for inflation. I wonder why that is, because they want to control it. Who's going to inflate it? I'll inflate it, put a bit in my pocket. Ridiculous. Todd also has opinions on decentralization and security that broadly align with Nakamoto. Apart from, inflation, that's completely centralization. Although this is almost certainly true of most people in blockchain, Todd also keeps a relatively low profile, suggesting he has similar predilections to Bitcoin's inventor. Although Todd has at times denied being Nakamoto, he has at other times said, "I am Satoshi," sarcastically. This is widely interpreted as "I am Spartacus" tactic, allowing the real Satoshi Nakamoto to hide among his peers by creating false positives. Indeed, Todd has also said he believes that almost everyone has a claim to being the inventor of Bitcoin. In an October 2024 post, Todd said Satoshi is the entire human race minus Craig Wright. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So October, well, that's this month. Oh, maybe that's what he's saying. October 2024 post. Satoshi's the entire human race minus Craig Wright. Yeah, well, at least they're bringing attention to Craig. Craig is one of the few people who has seriously claimed to be Satoshi Nakamoto, an argument rejected by a UK judge in March of this year. It is possible that Todd also claimed to be Satoshi Nakamoto, is similarly seeking to discredit himself. That's the kind of envisioned tactic only 3D chess grandmasters could pull off successfully. Somebody like Satoshi Nakamoto, perhaps. Yeah, whatever. Reaching there, worth reading though. That was quite funny. Right, let's have a look at some of these posts then. So I've just posted this. We'll see how many views this gets. I've also put this on YouTube, so we'll see what happens here. This is what we put on there.
Twitter. As far as Web3 Twitter, I don't really know yet, but someone showed me this other site that looks pretty interesting. I think they maybe figured out what I've been wanting to do in terms of with like Web3 social media and micropayments on the blockchain. It looks really good. I think they use some version of Bitcoin, but the site wants to replace Twitter actually, so I need to try it out a bit more.
Hey, there we go. We'll see if that creates a stir. Craig also posted this. He said, Nick Szabo, the guy who thinks Bitcoin's missing something, some high flatulent concept that only he can see. He'll go on about smart contracts like they're the secret ingredient to the whole recipe, as if Bitcoin's just a prototype missing the final touch. But here's the thing he never got. Bitcoin is complete, fully realized. It's got everything right there baked into it. The contracts in Bitcoin are predicates, simple, versatile, just waiting to be used in any number of ways to create outputs, build conditions, and execute logic. It's not about adding complexity, it's about leveraging what's already there, solid and immutable. He's too busy waxing poetic about complexity to notice that Bitcoin scripts, simple as they seem, have the raw power to do it all. It's not about missing features or unfinishing potential, it's about using the tools already given. Szabo too wrapped up in his own abstractions to see the real genius how Bitcoin's design doesn't need some extra layer to function, but instead offers the building blocks for creating whatever output you want without needing to reinvent the wheel. He's missed the forest for the trees, chasing his own echoes, while Bitcoin just keeps doing what it does best. And check this out. So this was Craig at the 2015 Nevada Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas, where Bitcoin Bell was presenting it. And check this out. There is Joseph Van Perling. Joseph Van Perling sat at the panel looking at Craig, knowing that Craig introduced himself as Satoshi Nakamoto and spoke about this very thing in 2005 in the Denmark Walk the Hack Festival. So he sat there knowing full well, he knows full well that Craig is Satoshi, one of the very few people in the world at that very moment. I mean, just that, it just blows my mind. Now we know he was sat there knowing who it was, and he kept his mouth shut. You know, fair dues, fair dues. Amazing, amazing. I mean, what a moment, what a moment. Let's carry on. Some more things here. Craig has also said here, Peter Todd's statement that I, Dr. Wright, did not know anything about Bitcoin, and particularly his claim that the idea of Bitcoin being structured as a binary tree was false, has now been fundamentally contradicted by Todd's own words in his discussion on tree chains. I'm just going on tree chains. Todd himself embraced the concept of structuring blockchain data in a tree-like format to address scalability issues. This contradiction highlights an inconsistency in Todd's earlier statements and public testimony where he denied the feasibility or validity of such architectural approaches. So he said blocks and the TXO set as a binary radix tree. Awesome. But look at this. So somebody here, a Nosphere888, has said here, Peter Todd, well, I won't say that on YouTube, but is an artist who settled numerous cases out of court. One of them was even a Tran. He got entrapped by feds and has been working for intelligence for years. I mean, I don't know if that's a setup or what. I mean, if that's genuine, that is really sinister. That is really sinister. You know, whether or not somebody set him up, but I mean, great photoshopping, unbelievably good photoshopping if that's false. Jeepers. Oh my god. And this was a great post here from CSW saying, during the legal proceedings I provided critical information and evidence to Christian Ager Hansen, who was supposedly assisting with my case and overseeing the legal team on my side. At the time, the evidence I shared was untainted, and Christian Ager Hansen was meant to act in my best interests, managing the presentation and handling of this material. However, given my reservations about his trustworthiness, I embedded web bugs within the files I provided. These web bugs were specifically designed to leave logs and tracking information wherever the files were accessed, providing a digital trail of their usage. Oh, that is what happens when you come across one of the world's best cybersecurity experts. Whoa, this is gonna be huge. What's this? So he said, to explain this point in detail, a cookie tracker, often called a cookie, is a small piece of data sent from a website and stored on the user's computer by the user's web browser while browsing. Web bug, also known as web beacon, pixel tag, blah 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 blah. Web. All right. So he knows it. He knows it. What a stroke of genius to have the foresight to do that. Just brilliant, just brilliant. There we go. That's Peter Todd's post there saying, I am not Satoshi. And BSV369 said here, called it. CSW has written a white paper for BTC before the core devs did. Laugh my effing arse off. And it's extremely accurate. 99.96% of BTC code is different, but yet they still use BSV white paper. How's that? I hope this gets fully completed into a proper white paper. The European Union will need it for them to stay available in the EU. No Tether and no BTC in Europe would be decent. Yeah, I mean that looks great. Quite looking forward to reading that. Might read that myself. And here we go. This is the bit from the documentary. Let's see this.
To make a concept which you had envisioned years earlier, but you needed some kind of cover in order to make, and you also needed some cover for that 2010 post.
2010 post. Yeah, because I was Satoshi.
I mean, yeah, you're very concerned about all the privacy stuff, so you reach out to your old buddy Adam Back, you say, we need to do something about this, but we need to pay the devs. But you can't join Blockstream because it would look too suspicious. So, you don't.
I will admit, you're pretty creative. You come up with some crazy theories. It's ludicrous. But it's the sort of theory someone who spends their time as a documentary journalist would come up with. So yeah, I'll say, of course I'm Satoshi, and I'm Craig Wright.
The truth in plain sight. I'll say, of course I'm Satoshi, and I'm Craig Wright. Look at nobody else, but they're pinpointing someone in particular, aren't they? But we saw this just yesterday. Check this out. Wait.
Like, there's just no reason to bake in these kinds of assumptions into the system and risk $1 trillion asset for comparatively so little money. Like, if you're taking, if you have $1 trillion asset and you're spending like 0.1% of its value every year to make sure it's secure.
That's a huge amount of $1 trillion. $1 trillion is 1,000 billion. So 1% of that is a huge amount to spend.
That's fine.
He's like, yeah, that's fine. We'll just spend that to keep it safe and put it in my pocket.
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, we're absolutely fine. Just put it in my pocket.
There's no reason to go, to lock ourselves into going less than that.
And remember, that's going to be compounded, and so it's going to be 1% next year, then 1% on top of the 1%, 1% on top of the 1%, on top of the 1%. It's compound interest is an absolute disaster, and they know it.
Yeah, but some would argue that it will no longer be $1 trillion asset the
Certainly wouldn't be $1 trillion asset because somebody would control it.
moment when it adds inflation.
Yeah, and those people are stupid.
Yeah, that's right. They're just stupid.
Like, those people are just running off memes.
Yeah, they're just running off memes, yeah.
In any rational world, when you look at $1 trillion asset...
Yeah, we'll just look at $1 trillion. It's only 1%, compounded.
That has value for various reasons. If the $1 trillion asset...
And who is going to give themselves the authority to inflate it? It's digital. It's absolutely ridiculous. We're just simply back to the central banking system. Absolutely insane. CSW has also posted it. In this post, Peter Todd argues that Bitcoin doesn't scale due to its limitations of upgrading the UTXO unspent transaction output. SEC claiming that as transaction volume increases, the scale becomes infeasible, leading to what he describes as an ON to the power of 2 scaling problem. Todd suggests that splitting transaction volumes among different chains to reduce the load on individual miners, but this concept relies on fragmenting the blockchain system, which can introduce complexities like trusted third parties. That's what they want. Issues and difficulties with transactions reordering. Honestly, they're all these guys over at Blockstream. Like, we know exactly what they are. Crazy. Oh, this is what Craig said. Craig says stupid is as stupid does. Polymarket says, this is obviously yesterday. Len Sassman leads the polls as the most likely to be Satoshi Nakamoto. They're dreaming. Absolutely dreaming. Anybody but Craig. Anybody but Craig. Absolutely insane. See what we got here. Right, let's have a look at this MicroStrategy over then. So, they're advertising for a Bitcoin advocacy manager. Full-time company description. Yeah, we know about MicroStrategy. Job description. At MicroStrategy, we are pioneers in Bitcoin adoption, and this role offers a unique opportunity to help shape the future of our Bitcoin strategy. If you're passionate about Bitcoin and want to lead the charge in advancing Bitcoin's adoption within the enterprise world, we want to hear from you. The manager of Bitcoin advocacy will play a key role in advancing MicroStrategy's Bitcoin development and advocacy initiatives. This individual will lead the planning and execution of our annual Bitcoin conference, lead internal and external Bitcoin education initiatives for corporate adoption, and drive overall advocacy efforts to strengthen the company's leadership in the Bitcoin community. They will work cross-functionality to leverage partnerships and contribute to innovate marketing campaigns. They will also help to set up a DC-based hub for Bitcoin community interactions. They're going to get nailed when BTC goes down. We are looking for a passionate individual to join our Bitcoin team and spearhead our efforts in event management, education, and advocacy. What a joke that is. Education and advocacy. Can you imagine like how much egg they're going to have on their face? Like if what we know is going to happen actually happens anytime soon. Good grief. Key responsibilities: lead annual conference, Bitcoin for corporations, advocacy and partnerships, Bitcoin hub, internal Bitcoin education, marketing strategies. They're going to be absolutely clueless. Absolutely clueless. And in fact, if they're looking into this, I wonder if they'll find out that BTC no longer follows the Bitcoin white paper. They'll be like, well, what is this? Please note this position requires the employee to work 4 days a week in the Tyson Corner, Virginia office, and we will be able to offer relocation assistance to help you transition smoothly to your new role and location. Qualifications are 5+ years of experience in event management, advocacy, marketing, and our related fields. Blah 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 blah. Additional information, yeah, all right. It's a shame they're shitcoining. What a real shame that is. Right, let's have a look at this then. So, why the BSV blockchain is the future of finance. This is going to. Is the article still there? Oh, there we go. How the BSV blockchain can be used in healthcare. No, we want finance. Is what we're after. That's the one. There we go. Why the BSV blockchain is the future of finance. The BSV blockchain is set to be a revolutionary force in the financial sector, promising to reshape how capital markets operate. With its ability to eliminate operational hazards, reduce counterparty risks, and enhance security, blockchain is increasingly seen as the future of finance. Eliminating operational inefficiencies and middlemen, one of the most compelling reasons the BSV blockchain is poised to transform finance is its ability to eliminate operational inefficiencies. Traditional financial systems often rely on multiple intermediaries, such as banks, brokers, and clearinghouses, to complete transactions. This layered structure not only increases operational complexity, but also opens the doors to human error, delays, and increased costs and fraud. The BSV blockchain, with its secure and transparent nature, can streamline these processes by enabling peer-to-peer transactions without intermediaries. Though smart contracts transactions can be executed automatically once predefined conditions are met, minimizing the risk of errors or delays caused by manual oversight. This operational efficiency reduces both time and costs for financial institutions, making capital markets more efficient and responsive, reducing counterparty risks. In additional financial markets, counterparty risk, the risk that one party in a transaction may default on their obligations, is a significant concern. Financial institutions are often burdened with assessing the creditworthiness of counterparties, which can be both time-consuming and costly. The BSV blockchain solves this problem by providing a shared immutable record of transactions that all parties can trust. Every transaction recorded on a blockchain is verified by a network of participants, making it nearly impossible for any party to alter or falsify the data. This shared transparency dramatically reduces the counterparty risk, as all participants have a real-time access to the same information, reducing the need for extensive due diligence and risk mitigation measures. By ensuring data integrity and trust without the need for intermediaries, the BSV blockchain reduces the friction and risk in financial transactions, which can lead to greater liquidity and smoother operation of capital markets. Enhancing security and trust. Security breaches and fraud are major threats in the financial sector, costing billions of dollars annually. Traditional financial systems are vulnerable to hacking, fraud, and manipulation, partly because of their centralized nature. When data is stored in one location, a single point of failure can compromise an entire system, as seen in numerous high-profile cyber attacks. The BSV blockchain, by comparison, operates as a distributed ledger where data is stored across multiple nodes. This structure makes it significantly more difficult for hackers to alter or corrupt the system. In addition, the BSV blockchain uses advanced cryptographic techniques to ensure the integrity and confidentiality of data, offering a level of security far superior to traditional financial systems. The immutability of blockchain records means that once a transaction is verified and added to the ledger, it cannot be altered or tampered with, which drastically reduces the potential for fraud. This enhanced security is especially beneficial in sectors like cross-border payments and asset management, where the risk of fraud and data manipulation are particularly high. The BSV blockchain's ability to provide a secure, immutable record of transactions increases trust among participants and ensures that financial data is accurate and tamper-proof. Regulatory friendly, the financial industry is heavily regulated to prevent fraud, ensure transparency, and protect consumers. However, complying with regulatory requirements can be complex and costly for institutions. The BSV blockchain can alleviate some of these regulatory burdens by providing a transparent and immutable audit trail. Because all transactions on the blockchain are recorded and time-stamped in real time, regulators can easily access the necessary data to ensure compliance with laws and regulations. This eliminates the need for financial institutions to maintain separate records of conduct, lengthy audits, as the BSV blockchain transparency ensures that all necessary information is readily available and verifiable. The BSV's blockchain potential to reduce fraud and human error aligns with the regulatory goal of ensuring market integrity. As blockchain becomes more widely adopted, regulators may find that they can enforce compliance more effectively, reducing the need for complex and costly oversight mechanisms. Alright, well, very good. And what's this? Interview BSV blockchain to see significant benefits in new partnership with the global ledger. Could be good. Going for 32 minutes already. Let's just crack on. Let's watch this. This looks hilarious.
So I know our panel already had a quick introduction, so we don't have a ton of time. I want to jump right in. But before we go straight into the topic, Adam, it's too topical. We just have to very quickly get a comment from you on the HBO documentary that aired this morning about who is Satoshi. Do you have anything to say about it? Any thoughts on it?
Well, I haven't finished watching it.
Look at the state of him. Look at the state of him. You see what his puppet masters are doing? They were like, yeah, you're an old guy, a bit of a geek, and we wanted to be down with the kids. Just put your cap on backwards, yeah?
Yeah, I started watching a bit of it, and
I started watching a bit of it, down with the kids, yeah, Adam?
I think it covers a lot more than just, speculation about who Satoshi is, which is good for a general audience to kind of bring more people into Bitcoin.
Honestly, he looks like an absolute clown.
And, maybe there'll be more people at conferences like this next year as a result. And, yeah, I think we will basically never know who Satoshi is.
Bullshit.
Because there don't seem to be any electronic...
They. Yeah, that's right. They, them.
Evidence.
Pronouns. Like, that's how demons refer to themselves.
After people looking for 15 years. And, of course, if you take sort of speculation, you can speculate, the pros and cons of any one of dozens and dozens of early contributors or electronic cash interested people from, like, pre-Bitcoin. So I don't think there's anything conclusive there. And, the people they identified obviously denied strongly that they were Satoshi.
Dear oh dear. Anyway, let's have a look at 365 days of Bitcoin history. We did the Liberty Reserve dollar on October the 5th and then October the 6th. Check this out. So this is a classic moment in Bitcoin history where Samson Mao, the former chief strategy officer at Bitcoin Core, said Bitcoin isn't for people that live on less than $2 a day. You're imagining someone with your knowledge and background that is poor. So in other words, Bitcoin isn't for poor people. And as they say, if it's inaccessible to the poor, it's neither radical nor revolutionary, and that's exactly what they want. Divide and conquer. 7th of October, check this out. In 1994, the column memo was declassified, and October 7th, 1940, Lieutenant Commander Arthur McCollum submitted an 8-step plan to provoke Japan into attacking the US. President Roosevelt, throughout the 1941, implemented all 8 recommendations. Following the 8th provocation, Japan attacked and America entered World War II. Honestly, it just makes you realize it's all been set up. It's all been set up. So the Americans were purposely provoking Japan to actually attack themselves. I mean, how would you feel if you were in the army knowing that that's what your government is doing to you? They're absolutely outrageous. Good grief. And 8th of October was when the Gemini Exchange launched. Oh, this is 2015. The Gemini Exchange launched. Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss released their own US-backed Bitcoin exchange dubbed Gemini, upon which the exchange was licensed to operate in 26 states and was able to service both individuals and institutional customers. Due to its LLTC corporate structure, Gemini was also able to offer FDIC insurance on customer deposits thanks to a partnership with a New York-based bank. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then 9th of October 2010, just got a post here saying, from Satoshi Nakamoto about key pool features for safer wallet backup. They said SVN Rev 163 has the key pool feature, pre-generated new keys and aged in a queue before use, so the backups of wallets.dat hold keys you'll use in the future. For now, I made the default pool size 100. I wonder if that's the memory pool size. And it can configure with a key pool. Beware, it takes a little time to increase the pool size, so don't go crazy with it. Disk space is about 1k per key. I have not addressed the recovery side of this yet. If you actually did restore an old wallet.dat, I think you may have to delete blk.dat to recover your own transactions during this re-download. I've only tested this moderately. You might want to use this for a website server until it's had some more testing. All right, and check this out. So I have just posted this. Elon Musk video. It's got 120 views so far. 1 hour ago. Just gonna have a bit of fun with that. Here we go. Let's see how many views it's got. Oh, it's got 416 views on Twitter already. Let's see what happens there. That's just going to be a bit of fun. Right, there we go. We'll leave it at a 30-minute show, or 37-minute show. So if you enjoyed these updates, please ding your donations to Satoshi at handcash.io. We'll leave you there. Hope you enjoyed it. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.